Cool. Now we're in the middle of the digital forensic experts testimony, and we're just going to jump into the cross examination by the state. I got to re-listen back to the morning testimony, but man, I hope it was a lot better than how it was a few days ago because the judge was not happy that the defense was very disorganized. He had to put witnesses on the stand, off the stand, back on the stand, off the stand. It was just a mess because of the foundation that wasn't being laid properly. And it was just a mess. And quite honestly, I do feel bad for the witnesses for the defense. It just seems like a clusterfuck. So we're going to hop into the cross examination. We'll probably be able to catch up, honestly. We're not too behind. And I'll have it quite just a little bit sped up. Hi, Midnight. How are you doing today? How's it going? But we did watch the body cam footage of Brendan Banfield yesterday. You guys haven't seen that. It's already posted on the channel, or actually it should be in the live section of the channel. And then I'm hoping to do some recaps about this case. But let's just jump right into it. And hello. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me change to this screen. Have my captions on. Captions? Okay. Here's a state prosecutor. Not chewing gum today, are ya? Judge Penny was not happy about that.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
All right, so let's just go chronologically. I think it's probably a bit clearer that way. We start back on January 9th, 2023, 11:10 p.m., the Gmail account.
Yes, let's do it chronologically because I don't think even the defense was going chronologically. He was kind of jumping over to like different dates and stuff like that. Although maybe today they're a lot more organized. But oh my goodness, before I was just like, why are we jumping around everywhere? It was so hard for the jury, I'm sure, to follow along with everything. It certainly was hard for me. Hi, Caitlin. How are you doing today? Hello. Thanks for joining us. What's going on?
Account is created on a Samsung device. Is that correct?
Mobile device, yes.
Okay, and a Samsung S21 is owned by both Christine and Brendan Banfield. Is that correct?
His government phone.
Okay. You told us that Juliana's phone is not in the house on that day, but Brendan Banfield's devices are both present, correct?
To my knowledge, they were, yes.
Okay. When we then move to January 17th, 2023, we have what I'm going to ask the court share as defenses 128 previously admitted. If I can have just a second to get to it.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing today? Yeah, the state needs to be able to show that anytime there was activity on Christine's FetLife account or the Telegram account, that at least one other device was present, either Brendan or Juliana's. But it's possible that Juliana could take Brendan's phone, and it's possible for Brendan to be able to take Juliana's phone. But are they going to be able to show that the two devices didn't travel together? Was everyone in their own separate locations? I think that would be very important. Hey, Opossum, how are you doing today? Now they're talking about on NBC News about this case.
If that could be shared with the jury. Yes. All right, so this is the photograph that we know to be taken of Christine Banfield by herself at Lifetime Fitness. Were you able to establish, as our investigators did, that this was Lifetime Fitness?
I saw that they had established it, and I didn't see anything to.
Okay, and this is taken at 7 p.m.-ish, correct?
This is actually the sending of the photo from Mrs. Banfield to Mr. Banfield. The prior slide was the taking of the photo at 7:20, but this is the photo that was taken.
Perfect, you're moving us right along. So she sends the photo to her husband, who then comments, nice, right?
Yes, down at the bottom, in the middle.
Yeah, apparently this is a photo that Brendan and Juliana, they're going to use it in the FetLife account for the profile picture. Either the profile picture or to use it to send in the DMs to maybe Joe Ryan.
Okay, so while she's at Lifetime Fitness, she takes this selfie, sends it to her husband via Facebook Messenger. He comments, nice. And then just before 10 o'clock, someone with access to cbanfieldrn@gmail.com logs onto a laptop in the Banfield home, accesses Facebook, and pulls this picture down. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And then sends this picture using CBRN 920 to CBRN 920, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then this picture is taken and added to the new FetLife account, correct?
It was manipulated in between.
Okay, so by manipulated, it was cropped, correct?
It was cropped.
Okay, so the laptop in the house belonging to the Banfields joins FetLife all while logged in as CBRN 920 at Gmail, right?
My understanding is the laptop was actually owned by.
So the CBRN Gmail account is also called the suspect email. Apparently, Juliana said that was the email that they created pretending to be Christine, and that was the same email that they used to make the FetLife account. Now, what's interesting is that if Christine took a photo of her in this bathing suit and sent it to her husband at 7 p.m., so are they saying that she went home at 10 p.m. and then accessed the laptop and then took this photo on Facebook Messenger and emailed it to herself, wouldn't she have just taken the photo from her phone and then just created the profile on her phone that she was already using anyways? Like, why make it all complicated and convoluted like this? Doing good. We're getting some. Oh, it's snow in Utah. You're feeling cozy. Nice. Get some hot chocolate, maybe some s'mores.
Nova. And
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant the house owned by the Banfields. The laptop that we're examining here is in the house owned by the Banfields, correct?
yes,
Okay, and that laptop searches for FetLife, correct?
yes,
And that laptop joins FetLife under the cbrn920@gmail email, right?
it does.
Okay, and the laptop edits the Lifetime Fitness photo.
Yes, not all in order, but yes.
Okay, and meanwhile, all of this is going on the laptop. On the phone that we understand to belong to Christine Banfield, someone is using WhatsApp to talk about Valerie's day, right?
Yes,
And then by 10:45-ish, someone is Googling Lululemon, frozen tickets, and a story about the child who had their leg amputated, correct?
yes,
And then checks the C. Banfield Gmail account at 11:30, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Okay, so you acknowledge we're talking about two different devices, right? The laptop and the phone, two different things happening.
Yes,
Okay. And you can't say who was in control of either device. All you can tell us is what the devices are doing,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
correct.
Okay. And in fact, let's look at this. Apart from this usage on January 9th, 2023, the date of the initial creation of the CBRN email and the receiving of the Telegram two-factor authentication, I think, Christine Banfield's cell phone.
Okay, I'm gonna slow down because she actually talks really fast. The defense attorney talks really slow, so I can listen to him at 2 times speed, but she's actually pretty fast. So I will slow her down actually.
Is never used to further this scheme, correct?
That's inaccurate.
Telegram two-factor authentication, I think. Christine Banfield's cell phone is never used to further this scheme, correct?
That's inaccurate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you tell us where Christine Banfield's cell phone was used to communicate on FetLife or Telegram?
It was used for FetLife on February 14th, 2023,
You had not testified to that before. I'm sorry. When was it used on February 14th?
just after midnight.
The phone, Christine Banfield's cell phone.
The same model cell phone, yes.
Ah, okay. A Samsung S21 was used on FetLife on January 14th.
Correct.
Okay.
Which is the same model as her husband's. Are they not able to distinguish between the two of them? Oh man, she's so fired up. Hey, Sean, how are you doing today?
So going back to, we have no other usage of FetLife or Telegram with Christine's phone as this progresses beyond January 14th when we have an unknown S21 using FetLife, correct?
February 14th, but correct.
Okay, sorry. All right, so when we then look to, let's say,
Oh, he's testifying on the stand right now? Okay. Ah, gosh, should we just jump to there? All right, let's jump to there. I'll come back to this guy though, but it's already so fiery over here. Let me see. Are they back from their break?
Your next witness?
Your Honor, call Brendan Banfield.
All right, could you just move the microphone up? There we go.
Your Honor, call Brendan Banfield.
All right.
Yo. Look at him walking over there.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law? Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'll come back to that expert though, but dude, she was getting so fired up.
Sir, can you state your name and spell your name for the court reporter?
Brendan Banfield, Brendanbanfield.
Ooh, a little
And,
loud.
Brendan, how old are you?
40.
And you were married to Christine Banfield, correct?
Yes.
And how long were you and Christine together?
We were together since we were 18.
18?
How did you meet?
We met freshman year at college at Quinnipiac University.
Now, where are you originally from?
I am from Long Island, New York.
And is that where you grew up?
Yes, I lived there the majority of my life.
Now, what prompted you to come down to Virginia?
I received a promotion from my job with the Internal Revenue Service. I previously was a tax compliance officer, and I received a promotion to special agent with IRS criminal investigation.
Okay, we'll get back to that later. Let's talk about your family. Before Christine's death, describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what your family was.
My family was me, Christine, and my daughter Valerie.
And what kind of things would you do? And well, prior to you having Valerie, what kind of things would you and Christine enjoy together?
Christine and I had a very active social life. We spent a lot of time with our friends. This included playing board games and cards, as well as going on vacations together, and going on vacations with other couples that we were friends with. We did a lot of hiking, going to different forests and different mountains kind of around the country. We also spent some time. We played kickball together. We did quite a bit intramurally.
Okay. And when Valerie came along, were you in New York or were you in Virginia?
We were still in New York at that point.
Okay. And so how old was she when you left New York?
She was not one yet. She was 10, 11 months.
Okay. Now, what kind of things, and sorry, once again, before Valerie, what kind of things would, in addition to the hiking, what kind of things would you and Christine enjoy doing together?
I would say that we spent a lot of time together. When we weren't working, we did a lot of work around our house.
How's the audio? Is the audio okay for you guys? I think the attorney's voice is way lower than his voice, but I hope it's good for you guys. I hope it's like a perfect volume. Hey, St. Lawrence, how are you doing today? How's it going? He's accused of murdering his wife, but it's a very convoluted story where he had an affair with his au pair for about 2 months, hatched up this murder scheme, and he creates a fake account on this fetish app, hoping that someone would come in and fulfill the wife's fantasy, even though the wife knew nothing about this. And while the wife was getting attacked, he would come in and save the day, but he would end up killing the both of them, him and the au pair. Now, it's crazy, though. They've known each other since they were 18, and this is how you annihilate her, allegedly?
We had two dogs, two huskies that we took care of. We're often taking them on our walks and hikes.
And so, in addition to those things, you also both worked?
Yes.
And what did Christine do for work?
Christine had several different jobs. Her primary position was as a pediatric.
Does anyone know this is Chris? Wait, hold on. Oh. Is this his parents? Because I remember Christine's father testified. I don't remember if he looked like this. I got to look it up later.
Intensive care unit nurse. At other points, she did private health care for an individual family. She also did some product training for medical devices, and she also worked as a sexual assault nurse examiner for several years.
Okay. And where was that? Was that in New York?
Those were in New York, and when we came to Virginia, she continued as a pediatric intensive care unit nurse and trainer for INOVA here in Virginia.
Okay. Now, in terms of your work, when you were in New York, what did you do?
I mostly worked for the Internal Revenue Service before I came to Virginia. I was a tax compliance officer. I also worked at a math tutoring center known as Mathnasium, where I was center director, and Christine actually worked there with me as well.
Was this a business that the two of you owned?
Yes, this was a business that we owned together and worked at together.
Okay, and how did you divide the duties in this small business?
Generally, we had about 5 to 7 employees in addition to ourselves. I ran most of the day-to-day activity which would be the after-school hours for when kids would come and study math with the tutors. I did math assessments. I spoke to the parents about where their child was and how we could generally get them to where they would be.
Do we need to know all this background information? I'm sorry, I'm a little curious here. Also, do you guys catch that? His wife worked as a sexual assault nurse, and that was how her last moments of life, thinking that she was being sexually assaulted.
Needed to be at their current grade level. Christine helped quite a lot with the hiring process. She worked on marketing. She also spent a lot of time tutoring some of the younger students.
And how long did the two of you run that business together?
About 3 years.
Okay. And when you moved from New York to Virginia, what, if anything, did you do with the business?
Prior to moving to Virginia, we sold the business because we weren't going to be able to operate it from Virginia.
Now, you indicated previously that Valerie was born up in New York. How old was she when she came down to Virginia with you?
I believe about 11 months. I don't know the exact date that we moved here, but yes.
Now, in terms of Christine's career and your career moving from New York to Virginia, were you both in line with coming down here for your job?
It was a promotion for myself, but it was also ended up being a promotion for Christine when she applied to Inova, because she was going to be training the newer hires as well after she finished her own orientation period. And so this was going to be a pay raise, and she always liked mentoring new nurses when she was at Stony Brook Hospital. So this allowed her to more formally control some of the training process of the nurses in the pediatric ICU.
And so did she look at this move, even though it was for your job and your training, did she look at this as something that was positive, or?
I would say that once she started applying to positions here, because she applied to like Children's National Hospital and a few others, and she realized some of the opportunities with her background, that this was going to be positive for her career as well. But I mean, she was also concerned because we weren't going to be next to our family, which was mainly in New York at that point.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the part where he starts shitting on his wife. It's probably going to happen.
But there
We'll
was
see.
a lot of benefit, and we viewed that it was beneficial to us and our family and Valerie.
Now, you met when you were 18, so how long were you together, including your non-married life and married life?
About 19 and a half years.
And how would you characterize your relationship with Christine?
For the most part, we were pretty inseparable. We were together the entire time. We didn't break up at any point. We were from college to our first jobs after college, to buying our first house together, to marriage, to getting a dog and a second dog, and then moving down here. We were always together, always planning for the future. This was part of our life.
And that's probably why she trusted him. You know, they had this very young au pair from Brazil that was living in the house with them, and she probably trusted him fully. I mean, they were together for 19 years. What did she have to worry about? Or so she thought.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about Valerie. Were you and Christine actively involved in Valerie's life?
Yes, I would say that we were very active in Valerie's life.
Okay, when you invited Valerie into the family, when she came into the family, how did that work within regard to your family dynamic?
Mr. Carroll, I think you had the wrong name. When you invited Valerie into the family?
Their daughter.
The daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when Valerie was born,
It's a weird way to word it.
I'm sorry, can you ask the question again?
So I'm sorry, there's a little confusion, I apologize. Valerie, your daughter, I said invited her into your life. When she was born, how did that affect the relationship, and how did you all kind of change to take care of Valerie?
I would say that Valerie brought all of our family closer together, including my mother and our in-laws. It kind of brought everyone near to each other. There was a lot of overlap, a lot of family visits, a lot of care from specifically both grandmothers, helping both me and Christine when Valerie was born, and that it was a very joyous moment for our family. She was really the first grandchild for both sets of grandparents.
And so when she was born, it sounded like a positive thing for everyone.
Yes.
And what, if any, involvement did you have, and what involvement did Christine have, knowing that you're both working full-time?
So our schedules are a bit strange for childcare purposes. Christine would work 12-and-a-half-hour shifts, which generally meant that she was leaving at 6:30 in the morning and would be coming back at roughly 7:30 at night.
That's what I was wondering.
When I was in New York, I was working 6 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. And so on days where both of us were working, generally one of the grandmothers was the primary caregiver when Christine's maternity leave and my leave ended after.
Yeah, I was wondering if she was working long shifts, because it would make sense that when she comes home and she like takes off her backpack and leaves it at the front door, that she just like, it makes sense. You come home, you're really tired, you had a long work day, you want to get out your scrubs probably, you want to take a shower. So it makes sense that Juliana would say that, like, yeah, she came home, she would just take off her backpack, and we would wait until she like probably took a shower or went to a different room, and then we would grab it and start using it to message other people on FetLife and do other stuff.
Valerie was born.
Okay, and so it worked out between all of you?
Yes, it seemed to be going pretty well.
Okay, now, how old is Valerie now?
Valerie's, she'll be 8 in March, so 7 currently.
Okay, and do you, since this situation has started, do you have contact with her?
Yes, I talk to her basically every day by video chat, often also by phone.
Now, when she was younger, what kind of involvement did you have with her education?
I spent a lot of time on her education. I guess I've spent a lot of time teaching math over the years, and even
So if he's talking to his daughter almost every day via video chat, I wonder if the daughter's in the custody of his parents, maybe? I would imagine if the daughter was in custody of the victim's parents, I don't know if they would be too keen on letting them chat every day via video, but I don't know.
from before she was in preschool, I spent a lot of time basically what I would call numerical fluency, starting with counting and moving up through. I've currently been working with times tables with her, which is above grade level. So I've been doing math work with her basically from 2 until present. But I also monitor quite a bit of what work she does at school. And with this, I spend a lot of time reading with her, and we do, I guess I would say that I call them activity pages, but essentially they're like crossword puzzles and word searches, rhyming words, or consonant combinations, such as like ST or CK, and then I'll give a description of a word, and then the word will match. So if it was like TR, and this is a plant that grows tall, she might write tree, and things like that, so that she would work additionally on whatever letter combinations they're currently working on in school as additional practice. I do a lot of design work for that also.
Okay, and
Hey, Mariko, how are you doing today? Hello, hello. So basically he's doing normal parent stuff, lol.
you're designing these things for her to be able to continue kind of working with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what about things like science and engineering and all that sort of thing? Did you ever get into any of that with?
So we always did quite a bit of Legos, basically starting at like 2, but after that we started doing these projects from Kiwi Company, where you would do things like make a little device that would spin a coin for you, or that would launch a disc and you could aim it at a target. We went past that, and now we were doing these Crunch Lab boxes, where we were working on things like rocket launches, and there was quite a few others. There was designing of animals, and like stuffed animals, and there was also like different circuits where it would show you how to design basically a button, and then when pressing the button would allow like animations to move or things like that, and it would show more details of how a lot of electronics would work.
What kind of things would you and Christine do with her?
We spent a lot of time in nature, the 3 of us. Behind our house is Frying Pan Farm. So walking distance, we have walking trails, and we can walk to Frying Pan Farm, where Valerie would definitely like to see the animals. We had a membership to the National Aquarium in Baltimore, and that was, we went there frequently. I'm sorry, was there more to your question?
It was about the 3 of you doing things together.
We would go on vacations. There was quite a bit of spending time with family in terms of going to the water, whether going to the beaches or even with my in-laws going to on their boat and going fishing.
Now,
I don't know, man. After that fiery cross-examination, and again, I only got to listen the first like 2 minutes of it. I'm like, I want the details. Okay, let's get to the details. Let's get right into it.
how did you observe the
I was a jury.
relationship between Christine and Valerie?
Oh gosh.
Christine,
So remember, Juliana, when she testified, she said that Brendan did not want to have shared custody with Christine, and he called her lazy, and I forgot what the other word was. So I wonder if this is the part where he starts shitting on her. We'll see.
loved Valerie very dearly, and Valerie was very attached to her mother. It was tragic, their separation, but
But
you know, when Valerie was always very excited as soon as Christine would get home from work. You know, she would run up to her mother and say, be happy and call her mama. And, they spent quite a bit of time doing art-related projects. Christine would often bring Valerie to dance when she was not working,
Now, did you love your wife?
very much.
Did you want to continue your marriage with your wife?
Yes,
Do you love your daughter, Valerie?
more than anything.
Your Honor, I'm going to try to show some pictures,
Okay,
if I can.
all right.
look at the state prosecutor. Look at her face. She's still chewing gum? What is that? Ma'am? That gum you got underneath your tongue?
Judge, I might need some assistance from
I go lucky. Yeah, his eyes are very shifty, but maybe that's his baseline. I don't know. They were quite shifty during the body cam footage, too. Yo, this poor guy always needs help with the tech stuff. Oh, come on, Mr. Attorney. All right, we're caught up with the live now. Jeez. Is it frozen? Refresh it. I think it's a little frozen. He said yes, but nods no. Yeah, I noticed that too. But it could just be because he's trying to look from his attorney to the jury, possibly.
Sir, can you see the picture that's on the screen?
Yes,
Your Honor, we'd identify that as defense exhibit number 220. Do you recall
Shifty,
that
resting, guilty.
situation?
yes, I do.
Okay, and Your Honor, I move that in as defense exhibit 220.
Any objection?
If we could lay some foundation.
All right, just a foundation.
Do you recall this event?
Yes,
When was that?
Can we see the picture?
this was a trip that we took that was in Pennsylvania. We had gone to the Poconos, and we spent some days there in a cabin. This was during that trip. We went to a mud run called Warrior Dash.
And do you,
Ah, the mud run. Now, remember when the father testified, the victim's father testified and said that the victim had some sort of like blood disorder where she would bleed profusely and sometimes she would take medication throughout her life. It was definitely a huge issue when she was giving birth, so she had to take medication for that. Now, the defense was asserting that, well, was she really as careful as you said she was? Because apparently the father testified that she doesn't do like contact sports at all because she doesn't want to risk getting hurt. There was also in the FetLife, I think, messages or the profile saying that she wanted to engage in like knife play and like blood and stuff like that, but it doesn't make sense because she has this like blood disorder. Now, I think when the defense was was cross-examining the father, I think, I'm not too sure when that was, but they were saying like, oh, didn't she engage in like mud run? Like, isn't that kind of like, you know, a little bit physically intensive? I think that's where they're getting at.
you remember when that occurred?
I mean, not the exact date, but I would say that it was, I would say it was in 2018.
Okay, so would that have been?
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, probably, sorry. I think it's closer to like 2015.
Okay, so that would have been when you were living in New York?
Yes,
And that would have been prior to Valerie?
yes,
And is this Christine with you?
yes, it is.
And Your Honor, move that in as defense exhibit 220?
Judge, I'm not sure how a 10-year-old photo is relevant, but given that,
Do you have an objection or not?
no, it's fine.
No objection, 220.
And so was this,
Yeah, she does that a lot. She does a little too much speaky speak, you know. You're supposed to be like objection and then state it. She's just talking through it. And it's like sometimes it's probably not appropriate, especially when the jury's there. It needs to be like objection, relevance, you know, objection, misleading, objection, something else.
this a plan that you made to go to the mud run, or is this something that you just,
No,
how did it come about?
we planned a whole trip to the Poconos. We went to a concert while we were there. We spent time. We spent time in a cabin. We did quite a bit of hiking. It was a fun. It was a fun trip.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide.
All right.
Yeah, she does a lot of speaking objections. But you know, with the mud run thing, they're trying to show the jury that no, Christine wasn't as careful as what her dad says. You know, she was engaging in these other activities. But mud run, it's like, I don't know, are there any like sharp objects like pointing out at you in mud run? I guess you could still like get injured, have a nosebleed or something like that. But I mean, it doesn't mean just because you have like a disorder doesn't mean you're going to stop from doing anything fun in life, maybe, you know? Maybe she is careful when she's doing the mud run.
That will be identified as Exhibit 221. Do you recognize that, sir?
I do.
Was this the same race?
It is not.
Where is this located?
This one took place on Long Island, close to our house in, I believe, Calverton.
Okay. Your Honor, move that in as Defense Exhibit 221.
Any objection?
No.
221?
Sorry, Your Honor, to the next slide. Exhibit 365. Is that a picture? What is that a picture of?
This is a picture of me and Christine on a fishing boat that leaves out of Port Jefferson.
And do you know when that was?
Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I think I said, I think it's 365. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said
Okay,
365.
thank you. Your Honor, move that in as Exhibit 365.
Any objection?
No.
365.
I don't know why the camera guy sometimes shows exhibits and sometimes doesn't. I know a lot of the stuff is under seal, but the ones that are under seal, I don't know why he's not showing the screen. I don't know. Once in a lifetime, mud run is not like a weekly contact sport.
And sir, do you see this video or this photograph?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
and it's possible
who's
she was really
depicted in this
careful.
photograph?
This is me and Valerie, and Christine's face seems to be cut off, but I believe that's her as
Is that
well.
her in there? Okay. And do you know when that was taken?
This appears to be when Valerie was 4, probably the fall before Christine died.
Your Honor, move this in as Defense Exhibit 366.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
366?
Yeah, this is Judge Penny Ascarati. I don't want to call her the Amber Turd judge, though. I feel like she deserves a better name than that. Judge Penny, he's here.
Sir, do you see this one?
Yes, sir.
And who is that with you?
Christine.
And is that, well, tell me what it is.
I believe that this is at a rehearsal dinner for one of our friends' weddings, the day before their wedding.
And where did that take place?
Right, so what's
New
the
York or
relevancy
Virginia?
of these
New York.
photos?
Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 367.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
367?
Sir, do you see that?
Yes.
And what if, who are the people involved in that?
This is me, Christine, and Valerie.
And do you remember that?
This is on a flight from here in Virginia to Florida before we were going on a cruise.
Objection, relevancy?
This would have been in 2022.
Your Honor, I move that in as Exhibit 368.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
368?
Sir, do you recognize this picture?
Yes, this is me, Christine, and Valerie on the cruise after that flight.
Your Honor, I move that in as 369.
All right. Any objection?
I mean, honestly, I think these photos can go either way. It can go for the defense to show that, oh my gosh, like, you know, look at this guy. Why would he ever do this to his beautiful family? He loves his family. He would never do this. But then for the state, you know, it could also go in terms of like, wow, I can't believe he did it to this family. Look at how beautiful this family was. And he just orchestrated this murder, destroyed their lives. Terrible.
No, Your Honor.
369?
Just
And
throwing a
sir,
knife in the picture, probably. Oh
yeah,
gosh.
Remember this?
Yes, this is on the same cruise at a formal dinner that we went to there. And this is Valerie is excited for, I believe, dessert to be coming, and Christine seems very happy about it.
Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 370.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
370.
Sir, do you see the exhibit on the screen?
Yes, I do.
And what is that?
We took 2 cruises in 2022. This would be the one that's in November. This was the first time Valerie went ice skating. I took her ice skating on the cruise ship.
And was that Christine taking the picture, do you know?
I think I took the picture myself.
Okay, was Christine on that cruise?
Christine was on that cruise, but she did not go ice skating.
Okay. Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 371.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
371.
And sir, do you see this?
Yes.
And what is this a picture of?
This is on that same cruise. We were with our friends. Another couple. They have a son that's the same age as Valerie. They would be the ones that took this photo.
Your Honor, I move that in as Exhibit 372.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
372.
Do you remember this picture, sir?
Yes.
Where was that?
This is in New York when Valerie was still less than 1.
And did Christine take this picture?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move that in as Exhibit 373.
Any objection?
No objection.
373.
All right, we got lots of family photos coming in.
I think you skipped like 20.
Yeah, I must have.
I would submit pictures of Brendan and the nanny. They're in. The social media posts were in. There were 3 photos that we saw. One in the bathtub of them together. His face is like covered with a smiling face emoji. One where his hand is on her thigh. And then there was like a video of them like in the car or something.
Sir, do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
And who are the people in that photo?
This is my grandmother. Valerie calls her Gigi. And this is Valerie when she was still 0. This is at my mom's house in New York.
All right, move that in as Exhibit 374.
Any objection?
Judge, at this point, I am going to
You wanna
object to
appro-
relevance.
You want to approach?
Yes, relevance, relevance, relevance. Also, I've never heard of someone refer to someone that was younger than 1 year old as 0. That's interesting. Is that a common thing? Usually people say like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, or something like that. Can we zoom in a little bit? Forward it up, forward it up.
You see the photo on the screen, Exhibit 375?
Yes, I can.
And what is that?
Christine took a picture of me when Valerie was only a couple months old. Valerie snuggled up with me in bed.
Your Honor, move that in as Exhibit 375.
Any objection?
Judge, objection, relevance, and cumulative.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
All right, objection sustained. Finally. She said cumulative. Okay, we don't need these many pictures.
Sir, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, what's the significance of this photo in terms of your family?
This is taken in Georgia, in Brunswick, Georgia. This is the day of my graduation from the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center Academy, and Christine and Valerie had visited me for the graduation ceremony.
Your Honor, move this in as almost our Defense Exhibit 377.
I'm sorry, Judge, same objection, relevance, and cumulative.
Sustain the objection to relevance and cumulative.
Sustain. I mean, were we not expecting this?
Sir, let's move on.
Thank you. Oh, he said let's move on. All right, guys, we're moving on. Yay.
Did you have a relationship with Juliana Perez Magalhaes?
Ooh, I didn't expect
Yes.
that.
And tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when did that start?
I guess the relationship started as professional in October of 2021 when she came to be a au pair or a nanny for our family.
Okay, and she came through an agency?
Yes, from Cultural Care is the agency.
What were the parameters of the cultural care exchange that she came through? Do you know?
Yeah, she did come through an agency. Okay, that's what I was wondering. But she was only getting paid. I mean, you're getting boarding and you're probably getting food the times that like she's at the house with them, but like $200 a week? Damn.
She would come and provide childcare for the family. It would include room and board, that she would be able to take educational opportunities, such as at a local community college. She can work, I believe, up to 45 hours a week, and she would generally provide a loving environment and activities for Valerie.
And for who else? Loving environment, activities for Brendan Banfield.
Okay. And had you had a previous au pair before her?
Yes, we had an au pair prior to her. Her name was Amanda. She was with us for 2.5 years.
Did you bang her too?
And so Juliana was your second au pair?
Correct.
And so explain kind of from when she got there in October 21, what were her duties and how did you utilize her time when you and Christine were working?
Can we be careful with how we phrase these things? How do you utilize her time? I'm sorry, my mind is so muddled now that we know that the affair happened. Where am I in the spreadsheet? Oops.
So once we moved to Virginia, our work schedules were, I guess, more erratic because my work schedule was not set any longer as well. So Christine would still be working generally the 12.5-hour days, but I may have to work at hours that could start at 5 in the morning and sometimes could be going late into the evening. So while generally I would know what I had to do for the day and maybe how long it would take, it wasn't convenient for conventional childcare in terms of having Valerie go to, say, a daycare, because generally they're not open at 6:30 in the morning until nighttime. So generally...
Anyone here watch Archer? I feel like he would chime in so many times and just say phrasing.
The au pair that we had would work similar hours to that Christine had. And when I got home from work, the au pair would be no longer working for the day, or if it was on the weekend that Christine had to work, the au pair generally would be off. So the au pair kind of worked basically 3 12-hour shifts coinciding with Christine's job most of the time. But sometimes if Christine didn't have that many hours during the regular work week, Christine may choose to have the au pair work other hours so that Christine could get things done around the house or other activities that she had to do.
So in terms of your contact,
Do you guys think he's going to try to blame the au pair and say that she was manipulative and she was crazy, that she was the one that talked him into this?
with Juliana, describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what kind of contact would you have on a daily basis prior to having a relationship?
Prior to having a relationship, it was mostly logistical. I may inform her when I was going to get home from work, if I had any delays, making sure that Valerie...
No, they were capped at 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week cap, but you are getting, well, he said room and board though. I'm assuming they'll probably feed her here and there, but still, yeah, $200 a week, like in Fairfax, Virginia, like, let alone spending that on like food, like, ooh.
Valerie was getting to, say, dance lessons if Christine and I were not available then. Juliana would generally bring Valerie to preschool on the days that she was working. And we might just talk about activities for her to do with Valerie on days that they were working.
Okay. And when was it that this turned from a working relationship to something else?
In August of 2022.
Okay. Describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how that happened.
Really? Really? We're going to go into the details of that? Oh, okay. I thought we were just going to blow over it. Tell me how, sir.
So, in August, Juliana and I were home alone. I had to work on both Saturday and Sunday. So I believe the original day was a Friday. Christine and Valerie were in New York, and Juliana started texting me while I was preparing food in the kitchen. It was an unusual line of text as she was complaining about.
I feel like he's almost a little bit like smiling giddy about this. Oh man. Hi Aaron, how are you doing today? Thanks for, oh my god, Aaron, hello. You came in at a perfect time. He's about to tell us how this affair started and get into some of the details, which I didn't expect that. I thought they were just gonna graze over the affair like starting. Oh boy.
Let me, if I may just
Sure.
interrupt,
Text as she was complaining about.
let me, if I may just
Sure.
interrupt, where was she and where were you in the house?
I was in the kitchen. I believe she was upstairs in her room.
Okay, sorry, please go, continue.
It was a unusual text conversation in terms of that Juliana was complaining about her dating activity and the people that she was seeing at the time.
And what did you write?
I don't particularly like texting, and
So you went up in her room and started, oh god, did you go up? Oh my god, is that your excuse? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of texting, so I went upstairs in her room and we continued the discussion in there while my wife and daughter were in New York at the time.
I think I basically said that if she wanted to talk, that she could come to the kitchen.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, and what, if anything, happened?
At that point, Juliana showed me quite a few screenshots of her dating app. I believe it was Hinge, and the people that were in the Hinge app all had similar names to me. Their names were Brendan and Brandon and Brennan.
Ew. Ew. Ew.
And these were people that she had matched with on the app.
And so, and how did it progress from there?
So he's like, oh, ho, ho, then you must be into me then. Oh, ho.
She was making quite a few jokes about it. At some point, I finished cooking and was eating. I don't believe that Juliana actually ate dinner at the same time. We talked about other unrelated things. Talked about there was some family history of alcoholism and how her family in Brazil was dealing with that. And we'd spent maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours talking about some random things, but also about her dating history. During this time, when she was talking about different people, she was described people that she was interested in, people that were taller, people that were older, and it appeared to me that she was along.
Oh my god, dude, he is like reliving this fucking moment. He's got like his eyes, like the way he talks about this encounter with Juliana versus the way that he talks about his wife are just so different. You know, he talks to his wife, he's like, yeah, I love her. We've known each other since we're 18 years old. But like, Juliana came downstairs and like she was talking about like her dating life and like showing me screenshots. And I realized that the men, like their names were very similar to mine. And like, oh, she wanted men that was older, and like good looking. Like, I don't know, man, like the sparkle in his eyes and like I feel like the edges of his lips just kind of like curl up a little bit because he's a little giddy about this whole thing. Eesh.
With the photos, the screenshots that she had shown me of people that she had matched with, that she was basically describing me. Also, I guess when we were having this conversation, we were sitting at the island in the kitchen, and she scooted her seat closer to mine a couple times.
And so what did you do at that point?
I did not stop her advances. At some point, I told her that I was going to go upstairs. indicating that I was going to go to bed. And
What kind of like indicating that you're going to bed? Was it like, hey, I'm going to bed, I'm going to sleep? Or was it like, hey, I'm going to bed, be upstairs in my room alone? Like,
she said that she was tired and that she was going to do the same. A little bit of information about the upstairs of my house. Once you go upstairs, the master bedroom is to the left, and all the other bedrooms are to the right. So her bedroom, a guest bedroom, and Valerie's bedroom are to the right. When I went upstairs,
how is this good for the defense? I'm wondering the same thing, because I think the defense could have just been like, yeah, the affair started. I regret it. That's it. I don't think we need to get into the details of like how the D went into the P. Okay, like we could just talk about affair started and then just move on. Oh no!
I went to the left, and she also took a step towards the left with me. And we had a brief conversation there, and then she came with me into my bedroom.
Did you ever talk to her either that night or later about?
This is a 37-year-old man at the time blaming the 22-year-old, by the way, okay? Or 21 or 22. I think she was 22 years old at the time. By the way, okay? She's the one who came on to me. She's the one that showed me the text messages. She's the one who came upstairs. She's the one who came into my bedroom. Just saying. It's a huge age gap.
A continuing relationship?
We did not talk that night about continuing a relationship. We did talk about, I would say, in the next few days, I guess we spoke a little bit about the relationship. She had indicated that she was concerned that I was going to tell Christine and that she was going to be essentially fired and sent back and lose her job, which I indicated that I wasn't going to tell her.
Okay. Did you tell her?
Oh, you know what? Here's another angle. She blackmailed me. We had an affair. She blackmailed me into this scheme. She was going to tell my wife. I went along with it. You know, I wasn't planning on doing anything. Ooh, I feel like there's just like so many different ways. We're at like the top right now, and there's like so many different splits in the decision tree of like, which way is this defense going to go? What story is he going to tell? Who is he going to blame it on? Oh, gosh.
Anything about what had just happened and what that was?
Yes, I mean, that would be that we were having an affair. I had also indicated to her that I had previous affairs.
What?
And that really this was just an affair.
Why is this good for the defense? Why would you divulge that if you didn't have to? What? Okay. I don't know if the jury is still sympathetic at this point. It's like, yeah, I had a bunch of other affairs. Dude, what? This is nothing to me. I'm used to having affairs. Like, oh God.
And not that there would be no other relationship, that there's,
And
that basically that this is something that I have had affairs previously, and that there's nothing that changes in mine and Christine's relationship.
now, was Christine aware of your affair?
I don't believe she was aware of the affair between me and Juliana.
Was she aware of your previous affairs?
Okay, I thought he was going to say that Christine was aware of the affair between me and Juliana, and that's why she decided to go on this fetish app and then like have her own little thing. I don't know, man. I felt like he was going to say that, but I guess not.
She was aware of at least 2 previous affairs.
2?
And likewise, were you aware of her affairs?
Yes, I was also aware that
Oh, now we're saying Christine also had affairs. Okay. Oh boy, this is such a mess. All right.
she had affairs.
Okay. And how did the two of you manage in your relationship moving forward with those facts?
So I guess in about 2013, it was found that we had quite a few discussions. At that point, Christine was working at the private healthcare.
Is there proof?
And she would travel for work for an entire week at a time, basically. And during this time, she would not be available to come home. Her shift was literally the entire week.
So
So we were separated a lot. My job, I wasn't in my previous position, but my job also required some travel. I spent about 6 months in Jacksonville. I spent another month in Kansas City. And I was living in New York, but I also spent some time here in the DC area. So we were both traveling quite a lot for work. And I guess that was poor for our relationship at that.
the jury can think that he'd just be lying off his ass right now. Also, are they going to have like text messages that shows this in any way that Christine is also having an affair and this is something they work through text messages or something, you know, like, oh man.
At that point. We had gone to therapy. We went to couples therapy for several months. We had decided that we were going to continue our marriage.
Maybe he's hoping that the jury would think that like, oh, this guy is like telling the truth. He's divulging all these details. Maybe he is honest after all. Because I guess like the other route could have been like, oh, I've never had an affair before. This is my first affair, but Christine has had multiple affairs. I don't know. But honestly, I don't know if this looks good for the defense. I feel like it doesn't.
So now back to 2022. You and Juliana were having an affair outside of the knowledge of Christine?
Yes.
And how did that look on a daily basis?
Oh God, we're gonna get into the details of this.
I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same all the time, but I guess it depended, I guess, a lot on Christine's work schedule. So Juliana may spend time with me and Valerie during the day instead of when I would get home from work. Juliana used to just kind of leave. She might go to her room or she might go out prior to our relationship. And afterwards, it was more like she chose to do whatever I was going to do with Valerie, whether
She chose. Okay.
it was going to be stay home or, like I was Valerie's soccer coach. So when I would go to soccer practice, sometimes Juliana would go, even though I wasn't interacting with her at all. Basically, she was choosing to.
Look at the prosecution's face. That's my energy right now. That's my energy right now. Look at her face. Look at her as she's listening to Brendan testifying on the stand.
To be with me
Look at her face.
whenever she could choose to be with me.
Raising her eyebrows.
So let's move toward the October
He's like-
timeframe of 2022. Did you ever create any sort of a plan with Juliana?
No, there was no plan. At this point, our relationship is maybe 6 to 8 weeks old. I think that it's an absurd line of questioning for something that is not serious, that a plan was made to get rid of my wife. That is absolutely crazy.
That's what we said. Apparently, like 2 months into the relationship, he comes up with this plan to have his wife murdered and then divorce was not an option. And he was in this honeymoon stage with Juliana. Like, yeah, that is pretty crazy. So I'm glad that he's bringing it up to the jury's attention.
So with no plan, let's talk about Silver Eagle Armory.
Sure.
Okay. So how did that happen where Juliana went to you or went with you to the Silver Eagle Armory?
So it was basically one of those things where it was something that I was going to be doing outside the house. Generally, I would go to a shooting range every month, every other month, to practice before my qualifications for my job.
And how many times did you have to qualify for your job?
You have to qualify twice a year, but there's practice there's practice on the opposite quarters. So there would be, I guess, 2 trainings and 2 qualifications. And generally, I would go practice prior to having one of those training sessions or qualifications at my job.
And how is it that Juliana ended up coming?
I was going to be going there anyways. She thought it would be fun to attend as well, as it was going to be out of the house. It was something that wasn't going to be risk of being found out by Christine.
Okay, so the relationship continued into that October, December timeframe?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're, in terms of training for people that go to Silver Eagle, is there any sort of training class or anything like that?
The first time you go there, they do a safety class, making sure that you understand the fundamentals of using a firearm, that you treat all.
Yeah, what do you think the excuse is for taking her to the gun range? Was it to practice shooting just in case she had to murder someone? Or was it just like, oh, it's just something fun that she wanted to do, you know, just in case, you know, like in case like something were to come up, you know, safety reasons while watching my daughter, being the nanny, you know, I just want to make sure she can operate a gun.
Firearms, if they're loaded, you never point a firearm at anything that you're not willing to shoot. Things like that, making sure that you understand the safety mechanisms of a firearm, and making sure that you understand range etiquette, that the gun should always be pointed down range, it should never be pointed at another person, things like that.
And is this something that you knew through your training?
Yes, this is something that is also discussed in my trainings.
And so would this training that you're talking about at Silver Eagle be for someone who's never shot a gun before?
Yes, it would be for a kind of a beginner lesson.
Okay, and she went with you twice, correct?
Yes, she did.
Now, was there, in having her come to the range, was there any plan that she was going to back you up on some plan?
I mean, there was no plan at this point when we had gone to the range. There was none of the suspect email account. There was no FetLife account. There was no Telegram messages. None of that existed at the point that we went to the range.
Okay, now, did FetLife or Gmail or Telegram ever exist for you?
I did not know about them until after Christine died. I didn't get to see them until after Juliana's arrest.
And you're talking about the criminal reports, the police reports, things like that?
Yes.
The things that the Commonwealth gives?
Yes.
Okay. So,
He didn't see it on his wife's laptop or cell phone after she passed away?
let's move toward, so let me ask you this. There are some dates that came up
He didn't wonder why there was a guy in their house?
recently. Some dates that came up recently relating to the FetLife account and lack of activity. Do you remember what occurred, what was going on January 13th and 14th of 2023?
Not specifically, I don't.
Okay. Do you remember a weekend in Winchester?
Yes, I do remember a weekend in
Who was
Winchester.
with you in Winchester?
I went to Winchester for work. I was going to be there for 2 days. I was going to be there for 2 days. So I had a hotel, and Juliana drove there herself, not with me. Late.
Oh, is this the New York trip? Also, if he travels, you know, for work here and there, why wouldn't Christine wait until he was out of town to plan this FetLife thing? Why do it on his birthday when everyone was still in town and he was nearby getting breakfast at a McDonald's? You know, like it just doesn't really make sense.
Later, the evening of the first day, if I remember correctly.
And she stayed there with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you remember what was going on at home with Christine and Valerie?
I believe my mother-in-law, Linda, was with Christine and Valerie.
Okay. That was on the 31st of January and February 1st?
I don't remember the exact date of Winchester, but
Okay. Would that be common for your mother-in-law or even your mother to come down to help out with the kids?
well, there's only Valerie, but yes, it is extremely common that
He said help out with the kids. Defense attorney, do you know how many kids this guy has?
the grandmothers came
One.
to visit us. Oftentimes, each of them may come almost as every 4 to 6 weeks, and they may spend between 5 and 10 days. As I had said before, Valerie was the only grandchild of both sides of the grandparents, and so there was quite a lot of support from the grandparents with Valerie.
Okay. Now, January 13th and January 14th, was that one of those days when someone was visiting, or that weekend?
I mean, they visited frequently, but I don't remember specifically that they visited that weekend.
Okay.
Where are we
Now,
going with this?
let's talk about February 24th. Can you describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what were you doing that morning? What was your plan for the day with work or?
Yeah, wait a second. If he went out of town for 2 days and Juliana drove to follow after him, was there any activity on Christine's account on FetLife or on Telegram? Wouldn't there be any activity? Hi, Taxi. Oh, man, I don't even know how to even... The defendant is testifying right now, and it's kind of a mess, man. I don't know what the hell is happening here. But hello, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for the $2.49. I appreciate the super chat. I told you they were going to paint Juliana as the evil mastermind succubus. I mean, we'll see. I feel like there's been so many surprises so far that I thought that the defense was going to take, and they just didn't. For example, I thought that they wouldn't go into the details of how the affair started. That's a little weird. And I'm actually surprised that he didn't try to say that, like, oh, we had an open relationship, that we were pretty, she was okay with me being open with Juliana and then vice versa. Or that, what was the other one? I feel like he had a chance to blame something on Juliana, but he didn't. Oh, I thought he was going to say that Christine knew about the affair with Juliana, and that's why she went on and had her own affair with the FetLife thing.
With the family or?
Sure. February 23rd is my birthday, and the evening I was planning to drive to New York with Valerie. My friends in New York had planned a birthday party for me in New York.
And I'm
What?
sorry, the 23rd was your birthday. Are you talking about the next day?
The previous day.
Previous day of 23rd?
So I believe February 23rd was a Thursday, which was
Right.
my 38th birthday, and the 24th was the day that.
Okay. And my question was, when you were talking about going up, your friends were having a party, you're talking about the 24th?
Well, yes, because that was Friday, and I had to work on that Friday still, so I was going to go to New York in the evening.
Okay. So the 24th, your day was planned, and what
That's not good. It seems like there's a little bit of a mix-up. Oh gosh, guys, get it together.
did you fill your day with in terms of your plan?
So, but in terms of the day was an important day for me at work as well. There was a important meeting for one of my cases. There was going to be a undercover operation for one of my cases. And we were meeting with the undercover officer, a senior special agent, and my manager. And that meeting was scheduled for 9:30 that day. This was a particularly important meeting for me, as had been indicated that success in this case may lead to me getting a promotion to a senior special agent.
Okay. So had you ever heard that kind of talk before?
Yes, other people that were hired at a similar time as me, you have to hit certain milestones before you could progress to being a senior agent.
So Friday, February 24th,
Why do we care about this? Relevance.
2023 was potentially a milestone for you
Yes,
in terms of your career?
it was supposed to be the meeting that would set up for the undercover operation, which was going to take place most likely on Tuesday. So we were going to go over all the documentation and the plan for the operation on Tuesday, the following week.
Okay. Now,
Wow. So birthday, getting rid of wife, career promotion, and a new life with a fucking au pair.
so what did that mean in terms of your normal waking up or any other usual habits?
I woke up a little bit earlier that day. I was planning to get to my office, which is in Vienna, a little bit earlier, so that I could set up the conference room, have my documents ready, have my presentation ready, have the have the document for the operation available so that it can be signed off by management.
Okay, and so what time did you wake up that morning?
I believe I woke up 6:30.
Okay, and do you remember whether or not Christine was up?
Christine I had seen seemed to be awake and on her cell phone when I was getting ready and taking a shower to get ready for work.
Okay, now did you have any sort of interaction with her at that time?
Yes, she was aware that I had this meeting that day. She wished me luck. She said that she would talk to me before I headed to New York with Valerie.
Wait, so she was awake at 6:30 in the morning? She wasn't asleep? Oh, that's right, because he has to paint the story that she was awake, that she was the one who texted Joe that morning and was like, I don't know, I forgot what the text message was, and that she was lying in wait for Joe.
Told me she loved me and have a good day.
Okay, so you carried on with your morning. What did that entail?
I went downstairs and got my work laptop out of the basement. My work from home space at that time was in the basement. I have a desk down there. It's because it's quiet. So I got my work stuff ready. I made sure that I had all of my equipment. Getting ready on a typical day would mean that I need to have my credentials, which includes my badge, my firearm, my holster, my handcuffs, two magazines, a belt clip badge, my work cell phone, and then generally I would also have my personal cell phone, my wallet, and my keys, which includes to my government
Okay, so he's explaining as to why he had his gun on him, his firearm.
vehicle.
And so you had a holster that would hold the gun?
Yes,
And to what side was that holster?
it's on the right because I'm right-handed.
Okay, and so presumably you're putting it in the right and the gun comes out of it on the right side?
Correct.
Okay. Now, who else was up when you, and what else was going on in the house that you were involved with?
I know Juliana was downstairs when I came upstairs from getting my work stuff out, my work laptop out of the basement. I don't remember exactly what she was doing. I think she might have been getting stuff ready in the kitchen.
Let me just stop you right there. Prior to that time, which would be February 24th, had you ever taken Christine's laptop or taken her phone out of a bag near the door?
No, I don't take her laptop. I have no reason to use her laptop. I don't have access to her laptop. It's not a password that I know.
That's not what Juliana says.
I have my own work laptop. I have my own home desktop. Actually, I have two cell phones.
Oh, I wonder if Juliana knows the password to Christine's laptop and the password to her phone. That would be interesting.
I have a personal cell phone and a work cell phone. Our devices were completely separate.
And so, in terms of, so that's fine. In terms of the idea of the laptop, where it would be on a regular basis, do you have a recollection of where she would put her laptop?
Christine kept her laptop actually in several places. Sometimes it is by the front door when she gets home. She would have a backpack, and she would bring the backpack and drop it off, and generally go visit Valerie and our dog and me. But usually she would go upstairs and she would bring her backpack with her, and her desk is in the sitting area of our master bedroom. So if you were to go into the master bedroom, you can kind of either go left or right, and to the left is the sitting area, which is where Christine does her work and has her desk and her file and has her files for her job. And if you went to the right, it would be where the master bedroom is, and for a little bit further, the master bathroom. But she didn't also only keep her laptop at her desk. I would say the majority of her use would be sitting in bed with her back against the headboard while she had TV on or something like that. And when she would be done, she might put the laptop in between her nightstand and the bed, or on the nightstand itself, or back on her desk, generally at night.
I just don't see why Christine, having her first FetLife encounter, inviting a stranger into her home, why she would keep her cell phone downstairs in the kitchen drawer. Why?
And so, and what about her phone? Where would there be a particular place where she might leave her phone?
I mean, her phone was basically always connected to her. Her phone wasn't really away from her basically ever. I mean, she would keep it in her pocket.
So following up on the discussion we had about a plan, was there ever any time, and I think you indicated that you never went and grabbed her laptop or whatever, was there ever any time you observed Juliana going to grab her laptop or her phone?
I never observed Juliana.
Oh, is he going to try to say that Juliana planned all this on her own because she wanted to be with him? I guess that's the route. Yeah, that's the route they're taking. I'm going to admit to the affair. I'm not going to admit that I was the one who was tampering with the phone or the laptop, but it was probably Juliana. She did it so she could be with me. Her dream man, her dreamy 30-something-year-old white man who's taller, older than the men that she was dating on Hinge. Like,
Grab her laptop or her phone. Juliana also has her own laptop and phone.
Now, what, if anything, was Juliana and what were
I mean, you could consider Virginia as like a purple state, but maybe Fairfax itself could be like that certain area, probably blue. I think Virginia is considered purple.
Juliana and Valerie supposed to be doing on February 24th?
Christine had scheduled for Valerie and Juliana to go to the zoo, at the main zoo in Washington, D.C. They had
Christine scheduled the zoo trip. Okay.
Okay. Did you have any role in that?
I didn't have any role in planning the trip. I was aware of the trip.
And how did you become aware of the trip?
Christine had told me that that was something they were going to do.
Okay, so you never kind of forced that on her for the 24th?
No, it was also written on our calendar. That was shown earlier. Christine had written it on the calendar. She had also written it on Juliana's work schedule in her au pair book.
Now, what, if anything, did you know about the plan for that day for them?
I knew that they were planning to go in the morning. I don't recall if I knew what time they were supposed to go, but I knew they were going in the morning, and I knew that when I saw Juliana in the morning, that's what she was working on doing, was getting Valerie ready. But Juliana had actually asked me to go get Valerie from upstairs. At some point in the morning, I heard Valerie's feet, meaning that she got out of her bed and pounded down the hallway and ran into my room. And so Juliana had asked me to get Valerie because Valerie wasn't in her room, to start getting her ready. So I got Valerie out of my bed, which happened after I had finished getting my equipment ready.
And did you see Christine there?
Yes, when I had gone back upstairs, Christine was there, and she was sitting up in bed. She had a blanket over her lap. She had both her laptop and her cell phone.
Okay, and what, if anything, did so when you took Valerie, where did you take her in order to?
Valerie was sleepy, so when I picked her up, she was still kind of limp, and I carried her downstairs to Juliana, and Juliana woke her up gently and changed her out of pajamas and into her clothes for the day.
Okay, did you take any part in getting ready, get sandwiches ready, get anything like that ready?
No, I was getting ready to leave myself. I wasn't. Besides collecting Valerie, I wasn't doing anything to help them get ready for the day.
What time did you get out of the house that day?
I'm
Do you have any
Roughly.
I'm so confused about the birthday trip. So when was the birthday trip supposed to happen in New York? The one that his friends planned for him? Thursday or Friday? I'm so confused.
7, a couple minutes after 7.
Would that be a usual time for you to leave?
I would say a more usual time for me to leave is roughly 7:30.
Okay, and in this instance, you were going earlier for what reason?
I was going earlier to just make sure that I had plenty of time in Vienna to get my presentation ready and have the conference room ready for when management was going to inspect my operation and documents for the operation that was supposed to happen on Tuesday.
Okay, and I'm sorry, you said Vienna.
So he's trying to say that he had this like huge meeting that was like very important, and it would lead to, him getting a promotion the next Tuesday. So why would he have planned this on such an important day? I mean, it could also be a really good cover story. I feel like it could go either way.
Vienna, why Vienna?
Vienna is where my office is. We have a couple offices, but that's the one that I'm stationed out of.
That's the home office for you?
Yes, that's my home office. The main office is in Washington, D.C., but this is one of the satellite offices, and that's the one that I work out of.
And what time was that meeting set for?
It was set for 9:30.
Okay, so you left at 7, For what reason?
I left at 7. I
I wonder if he still got the promotion.
was going to get breakfast, and after breakfast, I was going to get on the 267 toll road and head towards my office.
Okay. And where did you end up going to breakfast that morning?
I went to McDonald's for breakfast.
Okay. Is that a common occurrence for you?
I would say that I occasionally go to McDonald's, but I often pick up breakfast on my way to work. Not necessarily McDonald's. A lot of
I mean, Juliana said that he was trying to establish a pattern of going, out and leaving early to get breakfast. That way, on this particular day, it wouldn't be so strange and out of the ordinary.
sometimes it's bagel places or a place to get an egg sandwich, things like that.
So it's not uncommon. You don't usually make your breakfast at home?
On the weekend, I usually make a bigger breakfast for everyone, but no, normally I don't make breakfast for myself before work.
So when you went to McDonald's, there you saw the video that the Commonwealth showed of you driving up to the drive-through,
Yes,
and it looks as though, well, it appears you go past the drive-through at one point. Is that correct?
I did. I circled the drive-through.
What was the reason for that?
The McDonald's app has a QR code so that you get reward points and you can use the
Do we have screenshots of this QR code?
deals that you get. And when I initially opened it, it didn't provide me with my code. And that's why I was like blocking the drive-through. And so then I basically just got back in line once the code came up.
That's a pretty good fucking answer. I've done that before with the McDonald's QR code. But let's see if he ordered anything via the McDonald's app.
Okay, and so
Pretty good answer.
and you had that app on your phone at that time?
I've had the McDonald's app for several years.
Okay. Now, when you, so I'm sorry, explain to me a little bit about that app. I'm not familiar with it.
You can order directly from there, but that's generally not what I do because then the food gets made before you get there. So normally I just open up the QR code section and you can look at the deals, and the deals tell you, you can get a free hash brown with your breakfast, and you can load that, or you can get a orange juice or coffee with it, and then you'll get reward points, and you can use the reward points to get free food too. So
Okay.
it's kind of a loyalty app you would find from many restaurants.
And so, when it didn't work the first time you came back around,
Yeah.
and did it work?
Yes. Then my QR code came up, and I went to order.
Okay, so when we see you in your work vehicle with your sunglasses on, you got your food after that?
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you do?
Yeah, you order, you get your QR code, and then when you pull up in the driveway, the drive-through, you show them the QR code and they scan it or something.
I pulled straight forward. The McDonald's, the shopping center that the McDonald's is in, the McDonald's is kind of a standalone building. But basically you cross over the road. It's a road in the parking lot. You cross over the road. It's only, it's a two-way road. And basically right on the other side of that road is parking spaces. And I was going to sit there to eat my breakfast.
Okay, and what was the parking space, what was the landmark next to your parking space?
It's kind of in front of Chuck E. Cheese, but it's really only
I believe the McDonald's story. That's about it.
it's really only a few feet from the exit of the drive-thru.
Okay, and so you went there to go eat your sandwich?
Yes, but I started with eating a cookie from Midnight Treats that my friends had brought me for my birthday the day before. If you're familiar with a place like Crumble, they're large
Crumble's disgusting. I hate crumble cookie. Sorry.
cookies.
Okay,
I ate that first.
okay, so you ate the cookie, and then what happened?
I
Mind you, this is the same day that his wife gets murdered.
started my car back up
Okay.
and went back to McDonald's to use the restroom.
Okay, and is that in the video, the second parking, or the first parking space that you went into?
Yes, so you see me park next to the side entrance of McDonald's.
Yes. And then, what if anything, you went to the restroom, so what happened then?
As I was finishing up in the restroom, I received a call from Juliana.
And without saying what she said, what did you do?
I left the restroom and went back to my car quickly.
And was she alarmed at the time?
she sounded that she was very stressed.
Okay, and did you tell her that you were coming back?
Really? They're just so big. I love thin cookies that have like a little bit crisp on the edges, you know? Like, oh, those are my favorite. Crumble is just like, blah, blah, blah. It's just like a giant monstrous cookie. Hi, Shaniqua. How are you doing today? How's it going?
I did not tell her that I was coming back on that original phone call. On the original phone call, I told her that I was going to call Christine.
Okay, and did you do that?
I did try to call Christine, but I did not reach her.
Okay, and so in terms of your communications with Christine, was that unusual for her to not pick up the phone?
I wouldn't say that it's unusual for Christine not to pick up the phone, but I would say it's unusual that her phone would go directly to voicemail. Many times if I would call her, she could be busy at work, but her phone would probably be on silent, and therefore it would ring and then go to voicemail. And then she might text me or call me back and let me know when she can call me back. But it was unusual that her phone went directly to voicemail.
Okay. Now, and so what did that cause you to do?
I believe I tried to call Christine again, of which it went to voicemail straight again. After that, I called Juliana back, and I told Juliana not to go in the house, and that I was going to return to the house.
Okay. And did you do that?
I did.
How long did it take you to think to get back to the house?
10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, hard to say.
How long would it normally take?
I guess it depends on, there's a couple traffic lights. 8 to 12 minutes.
Were you, at that point, were you rushing? Were you
Objection leading.
what if, at that point, how was it that
Insomnia cookies are insanely expensive, but they're pretty good. But yeah, like one cookie that's not even like large and it's pretty thin, it was like $5.
you were proceeding back to the house after the two phone calls that Christine didn't answer and the phone calls you received from Juliana?
I started driving quickly back to the house. I took the most direct route back to the house.
Okay. Now, if I can just stop you right there. Was there any plan for how something would happen with Juliana on February 24th?
Did the camera just happen to pan at her when she's, I don't know, her face over here? I see a little bit of an eye roll over there.
Something would happen with Juliana on February 24th.
There was no plan.
I think she's ready to go.
There was no plan with Juliana on February 24th. As far as I knew, Juliana was going to be going to the zoo with Valerie, and Christine had just taken off from work, and I understood that she was going to be home, but I didn't know anything else at that point. I was more concerned with my day of what I had to do at my job.
Prior to leaving the house, did you do anything with anyone's devices other than your own?
I didn't touch anyone else's devices that I remember that morning. I was just getting ready for work.
Okay. Specifically, did you touch Christine's devices, either of those?
No, I did not touch her devices.
Meaning the laptop and the phone?
No, I did not touch her devices.
Mr. Carroll, is this a good time, or do you have more questions?
May I just look one
Sure,
second?
sure.
Judge, this might be a good break.
Okay, this is a good break.
Yeah, what a time to stop. The timing is like so like. All right, we'll have to come back tomorrow, y'all. They spent way too much time with all the other nonsense and details and the family photos and stuff like that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, since it is 5 o'clock right now, so we'll go ahead and take our evening break. Please do not discuss the case with anybody. Don't do any outside research. I understand that everybody is available for Friday. Again, I'm sorry that I have to thank you for being flexible. I'm sorry that we have to keep changing things. I know somebody can't get here until around 9:30. We'll wait for you whenever you can get here, and we will stop at 4:30 on the dot for somebody who needs to leave.
Oh, 9:30 to 4:30 tomorrow. Okay. Good to know.
As well, okay? So that'll be the Friday schedule, okay? All right, have a good evening.
All right, y'all. That was his testimony so far. Every time we talk about, oh, the defendant's going to testify, he's going to testify. It's like every time it's like, oh, they changed their mind, they're not testifying. Boo. But I'm actually surprised that he's testifying. I don't know. I'm just so used to being disappointed with defendants testifying. Oh, boy. All right, jury's leaving.
Okay? All right, you can have a seat back with your attorney. Is there any other matters for this evening?
Judge,
Yes.
if I may.
Yes.
I was remiss in not asking, is Mr. Miller still subject
Is
to
Mr. Miller still
recall by?
subject to recall? Detective Miller, is he still subject to recall?
Did I do that?
Yeah,
Yes, you did, but that's okay. If you're,
I don't plan on calling him, Judge.
okay, so he can be released then.
thank
Detective
you.
Miller can
And
be
then, as I
released.
had indicated this morning, I would like to request that Detective Stephen Augustine be permitted to watch the testimony for his expert.
Okay, any objection to that?
objection.
Okay, so we'll take care of that tomorrow. And help out Friday morning at 9:30, finish up the jury instructions. We don't have much left.
Judge, we should be able to do it. I anticipate we can do it at the end of tomorrow.
Okay, do you want to do the jury instructions at the end of tomorrow? It's just, I mean, we only have basically the charging instructions left and the
Yes,
waterfalls.
we should be able to do it.
Okay, and there's just one thing with that while I have you here, because I know
This is taken into a rebuttal.
it's only, you have the 2 charging instructions for aggravated murder, okay?
Yes.
But for the record, I have 4 counts.
You do.
So are we going to select like
We
count 1
are.
and count 3, or count 2 and count 4?
We are.
Or just as long as I can get that on the record, I would appreciate that,
Once,
just to clean it up.
once this has concluded, then we
Perfect.
will be able to let Your Honor know how we elect to
Okay.
proceed with the charges.
Excellent, that's great. Okay, so we'll see you in the morning then at 10 a.m., okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Phew. Opossum says very good testimony from the defense. I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. I just don't know why go into the details of how the affair started. You know, I think just graze over that. Like, hey, had the affair. Yeah, I really regret it. I've been with my wife for so long. I can't believe I made a mistake like this. But he was like talking about how she was showing me screenshots, you know, of other men whose name was similar to mine. She was like hinting that she wants an older man. Like, and the difference between when he was talking about his wife versus the way that he was talking about this interaction with the au pair. Oh my God. I don't know if it's just me, but to me, it looked like when he was talking about his wife, it seemed a little bit mundane and he was just, you know, talking kind of like a little bit casually. But when he was talking about this encounter with Juliana, it was like kind of giddy and his eyes were like kind of shifty a little bit. But it's okay. We can all have difference in opinions. We don't have to have the same opinion. I completely respect your guys's. But oh boy, I kind of thought it was a mess. I really did. Now, when we're getting into the details of, I guess like he wants to make it apparent that why would I want to plan to murder my wife on the day that I had this very important meeting and I was gonna get an affair, not an affair. I was gonna get it. I was gonna get a promotion the next week. So, but I think that could also be a really good cover up though from a man that's very calculated and who has planned this entire thing out with the phone activity, the laptop, making sure that she was always home, the shooting range, how they were going to have this intricate plan of like, you know, this dating app thing and having someone come into the house so it wouldn't be traced back to him or to her. I think it's possible the jury could be like, yeah, you know, it could just be a really good alibi. Like, yeah, why would you want to have a plan like this happen when you're about to have a promotion and stuff? But I think oppositely for Christine, it's like, why would Christine only use her phone to go on FetLife or, you know, to message on Telegram when at least one person I think like one of the main things was like when they went out of town, if Christine still used her devices, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it was Christine. But it seems like Christine always uses the device when there was at least like someone home. But I think it's also possible that if 2 devices weren't home, then maybe the au pair took Brendan's phone, you know, to make it seem like Brendan was also gone. But then you would want to see if those 2 devices traveled at the same time together all the way through. This is why I think the state really should have put in their cell phone person to do the digital forensic stuff. But I don't know. The cross-examination apparently was probably really fiery. Do you guys want to hop back to cross-examination? My stomach's growling right now, so I might go downstairs and get like a quick snack, but I think we should jump back and listen to the cross-examination of the digital forensics guy because it was getting really fiery. Give me a second. Let's do that. The au pair is pretending to be dumb. You know what? I will say this. The au pair, when she was doing her direct testimony, I think she was trying to come across as someone who's like, oh, I didn't know any better. I'm naive, you know, kind of like out of her element. But dude, when she was getting cross-examined, I think that's where we start seeing her true self because she was able to hold her ground against the attorney in her cross-examination. She was firing back at him, you know. She came off a lot smarter than I originally had thought of her. So, man. All right, I'll be right back. Oh, and quite honestly, I think the state put like all their eggs in one basket with heavily relying on the au pair's testimony, because if you don't find the au pair, hey, excuse me, if you don't find the au pair credible, then by the time you get to Brennan's testimony, maybe some of you guys do think that Brennan does come across as credible, as someone who was, you know, poor husband who lost his wife, who was in the middle of a cheating scheme. Like I said, I think the state really should have went over the digital forensic stuff. But let's see how she did in cross-examination. Maybe in cross-examination she like completely destroyed it. All right, the cross-examination. Dude, I'm telling you, it was fiery. 140, maybe like 220. I think we're like right around here, maybe.
Zoom at approximately 7:42, and we have a parked car location that the iPhone automatically,
I move this in as defense exhibit.
To the new FetLife account, correct?
it was
And I have to slow it down because my God, she fucking she talks so fast.
manipulated in between.
Okay, so by manipulated, it was cropped, correct?
It was cropped.
Okay, so the laptop in the house belonging to the Banfields joins FetLife all while logged in as cbrn920@gmail, right?
My understanding is the laptop was actually owned by Innova.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to find where I am in my notes. My notes are all messed up now. This is when he started testifying. Okay. This is old testimony. Oh gosh, my notes are so messed up. Hold on a second, guys. Give me a second. Here, you guys get up, stretch. Go use the bathroom so you don't get a UTI. Let me figure out where I am in my notes. Oh, you know what I noticed though? Because the defense, honestly, like they're so unorganized. I don't know who's sending what message and what's happening on what device, but there was a screenshot of Christine or someone purportedly to be Christine messaging someone, and they wrote this. They were like, hi, new to FetLife or something. It was like, hey, new to FetLife. Oh, I'm new on this site. I wonder if that was a message from Joe. Because remember I was saying how it seems like Joe was a little naive and, you know, ignored a lot of the red flags and met up with someone who he thought was Christine. Well, I guess it was Christine because he didn't encounter Christine. I wonder if this was Joe. If Joe was just new to this app and, you know, he didn't really know what are the safeguards when meeting a stranger online on an app like this. Okay, I have no idea where I am in my notes. The hell? All right, fiery. This is the affair. All right, fuck it. I'll just start a new sheet. Oh man, this is a mess. Corgi, have you seen the victim advocate's testimony yet? Huh? She testified? When? Why would the FetLife guy murder C? Exactly. I don't know. Maybe the guy was a predator. He was prowling the FetLife to find someone to murder, I guess. Dude, this is wild. I promise, guys, I'm usually really organized with my notes. Oh, I found it. Oh, wow. My notes are all over the place. This is garbage. I will write it. Gosh. Okay. I'm just very unorganized with this trial. All right, guys. Let's hop into the cross-examination. Like I said, I'm expecting fireworks, okay? Because he said he made a lot of assertions up here. And when she was objecting during his direct testimony, she was fiery. I could feel the fire right now in her cross examination. Let's see what you guys are saying. We are going to see the behavior panel rip apart that statement. Where'd you guys watch that? I don't remember seeing the victim advocate testifying. You know what? There was a body cam footage that popped up on my feed, though. Something about the au pair telling the 4-year-old daughter that she can call her mommy or something. Like, I don't know, something weird like that. It popped up my thumbnail. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm a little curious about that actually. This right here.
All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone as we continue to cover the Brendan Banfield.
Okay. Where's the body cam? Is there a body cam footage? I wonder if this is the... Oh, I think this is the body cam footage that I wanted to watch with you guys. Or was it not this video? It was like a thumbnail that popped up. Is it this one? Hold on, let me see.
When the body-worn camera footage has been played, the jurors have like about 4 or 5 laptops in front of them, and they've been intently watching. No real emotion. Brendan Banfield's parents, I believe we know those are his parents, are in the courtroom. They're elderly as well, sitting up in the front right, as close to their son as they
Excuse my eating, but that is his parents. Okay, we were wondering, we're like, whose parents were those?
can get. They've been stoic throughout. I've not seen any interaction between the defendant, Brendan Banfield, and his parents who were there. Overly crowded, and but no side who are interested is not.
Oh, did they not play it? The heck? I saw it in the thumbnail. Maybe it was a different one. This is body cam footage. What is this video? It barely even showed it. Did I miss it? Am I tripping? All right, I'll come back to it.
And
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm at the house owned by the Banfields. The laptop that we're examining here is in the house owned by the Banfields, correct?
yes,
Okay, and that laptop searches for FetLife, correct?
yes,
And that laptop joins FetLife under the cbrn920@gmail email, right?
it does.
Okay, and the laptop edits the Lifetime Fitness photo.
Yes, not all in order, but yes.
Okay, and meanwhile, all of this is going on the laptop. On the phone that we understand to belong to Christine Banfield, someone is using WhatsApp to talk about Valerie's day, right?
Yes,
And then by 10:45-ish, someone is Googling Lululemon, frozen tickets, and the story about the child who had their leg amputated, correct?
yes,
And then checks the C. Banfield Gmail account at 11:30, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Okay, so you acknowledge we're talking about 2 different devices, right? The laptop and the phone, 2 different things happening.
Yes,
Okay. And you can't say who was in control of either device. All you can tell us is what the devices are doing. Correct?
correct.
Okay. And in fact, let's look at this. Apart from this usage on January 9th, 2023, the date of the initial creation of the CBRN email and the receiving of the Telegram 2-factor authentication, I think, Christine Banfield's cell phone is never used to further this scheme, correct?
That's inaccurate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you tell us where Christine Banfield's cell phone was used to communicate on FetLife or Telegram?
It was used for FetLife on February 14th, 2023,
You had not testified to that before. I'm sorry. When was it used on February 14th?
just after midnight.
The phone, Christine Banfield's cell phone.
The same model cell phone, yes.
Ah, okay. A Samsung S21 was used on FetLife on January 14th.
Correct.
Okay. So going back to, we have no other usage of FetLife or...
Sorry, I got chocolate all over my fucking notebook right now. But Possum, I'm gonna need you to like just turn down your energy level just a little bit, you know, or maybe a lot of bit. All right, give me a second. Fuck, I made a mess here. And this is why you don't eat at your fucking desk. This is how you get ants.
Telegram with Christine's phone as this progresses beyond January 14th when we have an unknown S21 using FetLife, correct?
February 14th, but correct.
Okay, sorry. All right, so when we then look to, let's say, our next event on January 23rd, you've told us that 1122, the CBRN at Gmail, CBRN920 Gmail is logged into on the laptop, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you gave us 6 exhibits to show that Brendan Banfield was not at home when the FetLife chat was initiated, some 7 minutes later, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, what was she
But
saying?
you have
Fuck.
not told us where Julie, CBRN920 Gmail is logged into on the laptop, correct? You've told us that 1122, the CBRN at Gmail, CBRN920 Gmail is logged into on the laptop, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you gave us 6 exhibits to show that Brendan Banfield was not at home when the FetLife chat was initiated, some 7 minutes later, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but you have not told us where Juliana Perez Magalis was, correct?
Where was she?
Correct.
Okay, and we see from the FetLife chat, I'm gonna ask the court to share Defense 191. I've got 181.
191?
191, but Judge, I have 181 pulled up instead. We can
Yeah.
just talk about it.
I did notice in his direct, he was focusing a lot on Brendan's phone. I'm like, you got to focus on both of their phones, Brendan and Juliana. I keep calling her Giuliani. Rip. Okay. I think I already wrote notes about this one.
In Defense Exhibit 191, one of the FetLife chats, we see the discussion between parties, and the Anastasia persona says, "How has been your experience so far?" Correct?
Correct.
Okay. On January 30th of 2023 at 10:47 p.m., the CBRN 920 at Gmail account logs in to FetLife again, correct?
It does, I
Okay,
believe.
and we went through 7 exhibits to show that Brendan Banfield was in Reston near the Lifetime Fitness at 10:52 p.m., but Juliana Perez Magalis was at home, correct?
I believe she was.
Okay, and had been since she left Lifetime ahead of Brendan Banfield, correct?
I believe she also arrived ahead of him, but yes.
Okay, and in Defense 194, we looked at the FetLife chats and we see again the phrasing, "I don't plan on having many people anyways." That was one of the chats that occurred while Juliana was home and Brendan was at somewhere, correct?
It's a portion of the activity that occurred that evening.
Okay. Looking at February 7th of 2023, 10:02 p.m., CBRN logs into the laptop, FetLife, and we have 4 exhibits to show us that Brendan Banfield is at a Sunoco, correct?
I can't see them, but I believe that's
Okay,
accurate.
and we don't have any idea why he's hanging out at a Sunoco at 10 p.m., do we?
I assume getting gas,
It's a gas station.
but I don't know. I was
Well,
not there.
he's there for a bit, correct?
3 minutes?
Okay, all right. So looking then at February 13th,
I mean, is 3 minutes for a bit? No. Be careful, counsel.
of 2023, 7:33 a.m. So looking then at February 13th of 2023, 7:33 a.m., we have the CBRN login, again on the laptop, again to FetLife, and again we have 7 exhibits to show that Brendan Banfield is not in the home, but we don't know anything about Juliana, but for the fact that she's at home, correct?
Yes, and the fact that
Well, that was the answer to my question, thank you. On February 17th, same story, 11:19, CBRN login on the laptop. He's 19th, same story. Well, that was the answer to my question, thank you. On February 17th, same story, 11:19, CBRN login on the laptop. He's not at the house. 6 exhibits to show us he's not at the house, but we got nothing on Juliana Perez Magalis, and we have a FetLife exchange that asks something about liking Nurse in the Scrub, correct?
again, not seeing it, but it sounds accurate.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I not look at Juliana? Okay, this is, geez. I mean, maybe she just wanted to just destroy him in cross-examination, but I think she should also have her expert and be like, oh, yeah, Brendan was not at home, but who was home? Juliana was home.
February 19th, 2023. The laptop is looking for secure messaging apps. You brought out the fact that the 2-factor authentication codes that are sent to the phone are not deleted. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, but these are text messages that come through. You have requested this code if you didn't call for help, right? Something to that effect. We all get
Essentially.
those all the time, right?
We do.
Okay,
I do.
I do. All right.
But you know what? The defense did bring up that apparently the 2-factor authentication code was not deleted off Christine's device. That's kind of interesting to explore.
And when we
Unless that's wrong.
Move on to February 20th, 2023, at 10:58. We've got the laptop at home, in use. And again, the location data suggests that both Juliana and Brendan are at Lifetime Fitness, right? Do you remember this one? This one's noteworthy because she's not on FetLife.
She being,
Christine, presumably, right? The
Ooh.
laptop is not on FetLife. The laptop is not on Telegram during this window when Juliana and Brendan are both absent from the home.
that might be. I'd have to look, but I think there was a period of time. There's obviously a period of time before the activity occurs where
Okay.
I don't know where everybody
What? He should know this, sir. You're the expert on this. What do you mean that might be?
is.
Right. Well, but we know that the adults are out of the house, but for Christine, presumably, and she's not using this opportunity to hook up online, right?
I guess that's fair.
Okay.
Prosecutor sounds like Monica from Friends. You're gonna hate me, but I didn't watch Friends growing up. I think I know who Monica is. Brunette.
But as soon as Juliana gets home, which we know because her iPhone connects to the home network at 11:06,
Uh-oh.
by 11:08, we're logged on, talking on FetLife, right?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Possibly, I'd have to see the slides, but that sounds right.
Okay, I'm just noting from your testimony. If it sounds incorrect, let me know, we can dig in, but to the best of your recollection, did you testify that 11:08 CBRN is logged on, and then from that point, we move forward to chats with FetLife?
It sounds accurate, yes.
Okay. At 11:58 that same night, Christine Banfield's phone sends a text message to Brendan Banfield, I think it's Facebook Messenger again, saying that she's going to bed, bring up the toilet paper, and Brendan responds, "I'll be up in a couple," correct?
I remember that, yes.
Okay, and then we see that Christine's phone, again, the phone, continues to browse Sheen, nursing schools, and pens, right?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, meanwhile,
What do you mean sounds familiar? You should know this. Okay, the victim, Sheen, pens, and she was browsing. Okay.
literally 2 minutes later, Telegram is in use on the laptop. Correct?
Sounds accurate.
Right, so on the dot, midnight, that Telegram call takes place on the laptop. 2 minutes after her husband says, "I'll be up in a couple." Correct?
Sounds accurate, yes.
Okay. Moving to February 21st, this one didn't fall into your timeline, but did you see the Google return? And let me just show you, Commonwealth's 243, Judge, I would offer at this point in time. Counsel, recognize this magnet report. I'm going to scroll down so you can see the activity. Is this a magnet report from the Commonwealth's extractions of the devices?
This is not one I've seen before.
Okay. If I were to draw your attention to the device, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which we understand to be Mr. Banfield's phone, does that help you identify this document?
I believe that's the model phone he has, but this document looks like it was generated 2 days ago.
Correct. Because again, it's an extraction, it's a report from the previous extraction. Are you telling me you don't recognize the phone as the defendant's?
I believe that's the model phone he had, yes.
Okay. Do you need another minute to look at this?
Take your time.
Well, I haven't really seen anything to,
How about that? Is that helpful?
I would. I'd be like, I've never seen this before. You can ask me questions about this.
okay.
Okay. And we can see that we've got the extraction, we've got the dump data, and then we see that this is a search performed on Google by Mr. Banfield's phone on February 21st, 2023 at 11:35 a.m. searching delete your activity, Android, Google account help. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay, Your Honor, the Commonwealth would offer this in evidence as Commonwealth's 243.
Any objection? Put your microphone on again. What's your legal objection?
Legal objection, it's hearsay. It's Detective Miller's report. It's a way of getting around their expert coming to testify.
All right. Yes, sir.
Judge, it's an extraction and a magnet report based on the extraction, the same thing this gentleman's been testifying to as materials that he reviewed to perform his
If
analysis.
you want to approach.
Sure.
I just haven't seen.
Thank you. All right, so again, we've identified this is a Google search for delete your activity, Android, Google account help, correct?
It is.
Okay. February 23rd, 2023, we've got at 9:25 p.m., this is the night before the murder, all of the devices are home, correct?
Can you say the time again, please? I'm sorry.
9:25 p.m., February 23rd, 2023, night before the murder. All of the devices are home.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and from 9:25 to 9:40, the laptop is looking at Dominican resorts, correct?
I believe that's accurate, yes.
Okay, but for 2 minutes, 9:35 to 9:37, when someone hops on Telegram real quick, sends a message, and then pops back off, right?
That is accurate, the
Okay.
timing.
We don't see Telegram in use on the laptop again until 11 o'clock that night.
Correct?
The same time that we see Christine Banfield's phone pick up the search for Punta Cana resorts, correct?
It wasn't a search, it was a message with a link to a specific resort.
Okay, great. The phone gets busy planning this vacation. Accurate?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
I'm like getting confused. Which device is which now? Did they mention that earlier? I don't know if they did. It's hard because we can't see what they're seeing right now.
You pointed out that there was a gap in the phone usage from 9:51 to 11 o'clock when it picks up with the resort, correct?
That was only with regard to either messaging or website visitation.
Okay. You can't say that Christine and Brendan weren't planning a family vacation. Can you?
I can't say they weren't.
Correct. You don't know. They could have been sitting at the kitchen table planning a family vacation that night. You
Did anyone take fingerprints off the laptop? I mean, they all live in the same household, so it wouldn't be surprising if Brennan's fingerprints were on it, or maybe the au pair.
have no way of knowing, right?
I do not.
Okay. And we only have those 2 minutes of Telegram usage. You can't say that
But I guess you could look at like the lack of fingerprints, maybe, possibly.
he didn't hop on the laptop really quick, check Telegram while she was in the bathroom, hopped off before she got back to their vacation planning. Can you?
I cannot.
Okay. But at 11 p.m., we know that the two devices diverge in what they're doing. The laptop moves into heavy, sustained Telegram usage with Joe Ryan, and the phone goes off to bed searching for vacations.
I didn't say, and I don't think I could say that the phone's necessarily separated physically. There's no evidence to suggest that they did or didn't.
Okay, okay, but their usage.
Yeah, I feel like it would be the opposite. Like if you want to be sneaky and do something without getting caught, you would probably want to do it on a smaller device, you know, like a phone that you can conceal a lot easier versus on a laptop where it's like you got the screen up, you got the keyboard and everything. Because I would expect that the Telegram usage would be on the phone. That way, you know, if anyone walks in, you can kind of just like hide it really quick. It's a smaller device versus on a laptop, you got to like push the screen down.
Certainly separates in tenor, if you will.
The laptop transitioned to Telegram and FetLife-centric activity, and the phone, you know, started with the vacation Messaging, and then just went into benign activity, minimal benign activity after that.
All right, Judge, I would ask the court to share Commonwealth's 209 with the witness and counsel. Start at the top.
Yeah, YouTube has like
Mr.
a
Litsky,
30 to 40 seconds delay, I think. The keys had Giuliana's prince as suspect. Not if they live together. I don't think so. And she was taking care of the kid. I mean, it's possible that, you know, she could have used a laptop at some point. I don't think that's like too, would be too crazy. Now, if there was like a lack of fingerprints, if the fingerprints only showed that only Christine used the phone and Brennan didn't touch it and then Juliana didn't touch it, maybe that's something there. You didn't watch Friends either. I couldn't even say what the series is, I couldn't even say what the series is about. I recall that I found Jen Aniston attractive. Jennifer Aniston looks great as a brunette. Oh my gosh, you guys ever seen her in Horrible Bosses? So pretty as a brunette.
does this one look familiar to you?
It does. It does and it doesn't, but
Okay.
it does.
Well, do you recognize this as a report from the extraction of Christine Banfield's cell phone?
What I don't get is how they managed to get the fake fetish site profile, etc., without the wife ever getting any emails from. Because the nanny says that they created a new email address. So there's two email addresses that they've been focusing on, which is Christine's, like, that's her email address, no doubt about it. And then there's a suspect email address that they keep referring to, where it's called CBRN. That's a suspect email. Allegedly, or Juliana says that they created this fake email, and that's what they used to tie the FetLife account and the Telegram account to.
I believe that's what it is. I thought the extraction from her cell phone had a different name, but otherwise it comports with that, yes.
And you were able to register from this document the activity of Christine Banfield's cell phone on the morning of the murder. Is that correct?
Yes, I see that.
Judge Commonwealth would offer this as Commonwealth's 209.
Any objection?
No, you're.
Okay, 209.
I wonder how long it takes for them to upload
And we can see from
exhibits.
this document that at 6:46 a.m., Christine Banfield's phone is shut down, correct?
This would indicate that a shutdown profile was initiated, yes.
Wait, what day are we on? In the
And
morning,
Judge, if I
right?
can cut and move to Commonwealth's 207.
The morning of, right? The murder?
Do you recognize this document?
I believe I've seen this, yes.
Okay. And this is just the deeper dive into what the phone did as it began its shutdown procedure. Is that correct?
Correct.
Commonwealth would offer this as 207.
Any objection?
Okay.
207.
Oh, is this when the phone was shut down and put into the kitchen drawer?
So with Christine's phone powered off at 6:46 a.m.,
So she shut off her own phone the day that the stranger was going to come into her house that she met online, and then she put it in her kitchen, in the kitchen drawer.
we then know that Mr. Banfield,
But now we got to look at the angle of, okay, Brendan's story that it was the au pair who planned everything. How would the jury look at that?
is, as you correctly stated, seen on surveillance video at the McDonald's at 7:29 a.m., correct?
I think from about 7:20 to 7:37, yes.
Okay. He's there a while, correct?
He leaves and returns.
Okay. And then he goes into the bathroom for 7 minutes, right?
I believe that's about accurate, yes.
And at 7:24, you've told us that Juliana's steps stop. She's just waiting in her car, correct?
I don't know where she was or what she was doing, but her step count stopped, and I believe that's consistent with what from interviews and other Witness statements, yes, that comports.
Okay, but you didn't track her travel to someplace else, correct? You said you don't know that she's waiting in her car, but you know she didn't go anywhere else, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And at 7:37, you know from the call records that Mr. Banfield receives a phone call from Juliana, correct?
Correct.
Okay. He does not call 911, correct?
I don't believe he did.
Okay. And at 7:42, you told us that Juliana is moving again.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So from approximately 7:25, 7:30, we have both Juliana and Mr. Banfield just not going anywhere, correct?
And out of the house, correct.
Okay. Couple of things I want to ask you about. Not sure if you can answer, but did you notice that on January 13th and 14th, there was no activity on FetLife or on Telegram while Juliana and Mr. Banfield were out of state?
Oof. That's what I'm wondering. That's what I was
I-
looking for. That's what I was hoping for the state to point out.
I'm not sure I noticed all of those things put together, but I know
What?
there were periods of inactivity, yes.
Okay, and another such period of inactivity was January 31st to February 1st when Brennan and Juliana were together in Winchester, Virginia?
That I am more familiar with, yes.
Okay. And just to be perfectly clear, we've been through a lot here, and we've made it very clear, I think, that you can only testify to what the phones were doing. You cannot tell us who was manipulating the phones. You can't.
The 2 times when both Brendan and Juliana were out of town, there's no activity on Christine's devices. Noted.
Cannot tell us who made the phones do the things. You can only tell us what the phones were doing, what the laptop was doing, and where it was located when those acts occurred, correct?
That's one part of my analysis.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything further, Judge.
Redirect?
All right, redirect. Good luck. Ooh, what's up with that microphone?
Mr. Litsky, in terms of your testimony, when you're looking at devices, you're looking to determine if there are points or there are times when devices can be taken or can be moved or taken away from the person who would otherwise be, it would be their device, correct?
Yes, in a scheme as the one described in this investigation or the one alleged in this investigation, absolutely.
And we're talking about, you're talking about a scheme, you're talking about a catfishing scheme, right?
That is correct.
And so one of the items that you look to is where are gaps where control can be lost, correct?
Yes, not only gaps where control could be lost, but gaps where there was positive control, if that makes sense.
And what do you mean by positive control?
Well, on the night of the
What is positive control?
23rd of February, we have sustained activity from 10:59 p.m. through 11:49 p.m. So that's a full, it's almost an hour. It's 15 minutes. So there's an hour where a laptop, to Ms. Sands' point, that maybe was being shared at together as a vacation was being planned. We have a phone that's still active and in use. So that's a full hour where the laptop is just missing based on one aspect of this theory. And that's inconsistent with somebody who might be used to having their device close by. On the night of January 17th, we have the FetLife photograph downloaded to Ms. Banfield's laptop at, I think, 10:03 p.m. And then 45 minutes later is when it was edited and uploaded to the FetLife site. So whoever performed the activity at 10:48 that evening and manipulated the photo and uploaded it and created FetLife had to have known and been the one that downloaded it 45 minutes earlier at 10:03. So that's a gap where either the entire laptop was out of Ms. Banfield's possession through the government's theory, or Somebody went in, performed some activity, got out, came back 45 minutes later, took the laptop and continued what they were doing. So there are stretches. It may not just be for a 2-minute instance when somebody's at the bathroom. And my analysis and my opinions transcend the entirety of the window here from January 9th up to the morning of February 24th. So one instance might be explainable. 3 becomes a bit of a pattern. More than that becomes a trend. So I'm looking at this activity over time, over space, happening again and again and again and again, and whether or not it makes sense that the mechanics of the theory of catfishing sort of sustain over that time period. And I hope that makes sense. I'm also looking for consistencies in witness statements. I'm looking at whatever other data points I can observe in the analysis.
Now, with regard to a theory such as catfishing,
But not Juliana's statements.
there are inconsistencies that you look for if you're
Objection
investigating,
leading.
correct?
Sustained.
What, if any, inconsistencies would you look for if you were investigating catfishing? Or consistencies?
Well, there are a number of things that to me don't make sense. So the idea of, say, deleting the Telegram two-factor authentication message so that Ms. Banfield would not see it in the morning and realize that somebody had tampered with her device.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Should I just rephrase or?
No, we have an next question.
Okay.
Wait for the defense attorney. He's making up his mind right now.
In terms of the data that you've analyzed, well, let me start over and ask you this way. These 3 accounts that were created in January are inextricably intertwined, correct?
They are.
Objection leading.
Sustained.
What, if any, connection is there between these 3 accounts?
They are intertwined. As I believe I testified, the Gmail account was used to set up the FetLife account. The FetLife account was used to transition certain parties over to Telegram communication so that whoever set up the FetLife account needed to have access to and be aware of the Gmail account. Whoever was using the Telegram account in this instance needed to be aware of the FetLife account. And the Gmail account, unless you knew it existed and knew what the password was, you wouldn't log into it. You couldn't log into it. It's like every other Gmail account we don't know about.
And that would get everything else started, correct?
Objection leading.
Sustained. Leading.
And would that be required for the other 2 accounts?
Yes, the Gmail account was required to set up the FetLife account, access to the Gmail account to confirm the FetLife account, and the Telegram account was dependent on the FetLife account. So anybody who has knowledge of any one of the 3 accounts owns them all, in essence. You wouldn't stumble upon the Telegram account and just pick up a conversation that's been
Objection
on.
calls for speculation.
Sustained is speculation.
What's the likelihood of discovering an account such or
Objection foundation.
Finish your question.
what's the likelihood of continuing conversations that you discover that come from FetLife or from Telegram?
Objection foundation.
Sustained is the foundation, if you know the foundation.
In terms of the theory of catfishing, did you have an opinion as to whether the alleged scheme by the Commonwealth is consistent or inconsistent with catfishing?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Have I asked that question?
And many more, yes.
Yes. Let's call your attention to 7:33 on February 24, 2023. Do you
AM,
remember,
yes.
do you remember what, 7:33 a.m.?
Yes.
Do you remember what device was being used at that time?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
What, if any, based upon what you know through your investigation, were you able to conclude whether or not Christine Banfield had lost control of her device on that day?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
You're right, it's based upon his
If you want to
investigation.
approach objections.
She said, we talked about this. Don't argue in front of the jury. Oh, Rocky, Rocky. Come on, defense attorney, you got this.
In terms of January 9th, is it true that, well, what if
Objection
anything
leading.
would someone need to know in order to carry on these other account openings?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled, you can answer this.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
As to January 9th, what, if anything, would someone need to know in order to open up these other accounts?
It's like she's playing Jeopardy. Beep. The
So
answers
January
are
9th was
quick.
the email account opening, the Gmail account opening.
Objection.
You just have to know how to open an account on Gmail, I guess. I'm sorry if I'm missing.
Well, okay, and if you if you did not open up that account on Gmail, how would you know, what other means by which could you know about these other accounts?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustain the objection to that question.
In examining the accounts that are at the heart of this, which would be the Gmail account, the FetLife account, and the Telegram account, we've already gone over. Gmail is crucial to that, correct?
It started, yes, it was required for the FetLife account.
And in order to open the Telegram account, you would need the Gmail account?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustain.
Okay. If you were not present at the
Oh no, I think his game is just thrown off right now. Recuperate.
Gmail account, would it be possible to open up the Telegram after it had been created?
What?
The Telegram was not dependent on the Gmail account, but it fed off the FetLife account, which was dependent on the Gmail account.
Okay, and so same question. If you weren't involved in setting up the suspect Gmail account, would you be able to communicate on FetLife?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled, if you can answer this one.
I'm sorry, could you ask it again, please?
If you weren't involved in setting up the Gmail account on January 9th, would you be able to participate in FetLife conversations when that was open on January 17th?
What? That's like such a horrible question. If you weren't involved in the Gmail setup, would you be able to participate in the FetLife conversations? Yeah, I guess. Like if someone else made it and then I still had access to it, sure. What's the point of this?
No, you couldn't operate FetLife without access to the Gmail account.
Unless you knew that it was created and you had access to it.
And counsel has said to you that you can't know who's behind any particular device, correct?
Correct.
And in digital forensics, that's generally the way it goes,
Objection leading.
correct?
Overruled, if you answered.
Generally, but inferences can be made with additional context and additional data points.
And
With additional context? You mean like Juliana's testimony?
so the analysis and the experience that one requires in order to come to those conclusions is in replace of having an eyewitness or having a camera or anything like that.
Objection
correct?
leading.
Sustained.
What are the tools that you use in order to arrive at conclusions, other than having
Objection
a camera?
asked and answered.
Sustained, asked and answered.
Other than having a camera on someone and knowing if they're using a device, what, if anything, can you do as a digital forensic examiner in order to arrive at opinion relating to?
Didn't you already say like the patterns and like look at the gaps and then like once, twice, maybe it's a coincidence, but third time it's a pattern? What? There is something that he wants out of this expert, and I don't know what it is. What do you want the expert to say specifically? He's like, I'm not quitting until I get it.
Use of device or not using their device?
Well, quite simply, if there are three people involved in an allegation and two people can be confirmed out of the house, then I think a strong inference can be made that the third person in the house is responsible for device activity or internet
If two people could be confirmed to go outside of the house, though, is it possible that one person could have just taken someone else's device while that person still stayed home?
activity, account activity that occurs from the house.
Now, was the Telegram application always on the laptop?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Hi, Shun. Hi, John. 44 objections today. I think more than that, man.
I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh, man. That was a little rough. Okay. A little rough. I think, like, maybe it's just, like, nerves or something. Like, he was probably getting his game thrown off because, like, dude, that prosecution team, boom, objection, boom, objection. I feel like I would just be like, I would be so annoyed.
You can have a seat, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
But it's not her fault. She's doing her job. She's doing her job.
I assume he's not subject to recall, correct?
No.
Okay, you're free to go if you
He's free to go. I want him to come back. No, sir, come back.
like, or you can say. All right, thank you. I think we'll go ahead and take our afternoon break.
The jury's probably just like, what the fuck is happening? Oh my goodness. All right. So after the end of that, Mr. Brandon Banfield testified. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so I promise you guys, I did wake up early today because I was planning on streaming this early in the morning, but I was like, oh, they're still doing the direct examination. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe the presentation today is a lot more cleaner than what it was the last time they had court, because before that, it was like they were jumping between all the different fucking dates. The exhibits were not shown to the jury because a proper foundation wasn't laid, and it was just a mess. So maybe today was a lot cleaner, but I wasn't as inclined to listen in on today's direct testimony. I will listen to it at some point because I am curious, but I was really really curious about cross-examination because there's a lot of questions that I had that I felt like it wasn't very clear with the defense in the prior day. But the defense in her the state, not defense, state. The state in the cross-examination pointed out that there's two occasions when her name is Juliana. Should I just call her the au pair? When Juliana, the au pair, and Brendan were out of town, January 13th to January 14th, and then February 31st to February 1st. Now, if your significant other is out of town and everyone else is out of town, well, wouldn't that be the perfect time to do something sketchy on your laptop, on your phone? Apparently, there's no FetLike activity, and there's also no Telegram activity. So I think the jury could be like, oh, well, maybe there was no activity because the people that were on the devices using it, they were out of town during that time. Now, I think the defense was trying to battle against that by saying, like, oh, well, don't you like in Brendan's testimony right now, when they were talking about the out of town thing, they're like, oh, well, don't you normally have family that come over? So I think they're trying to say that, well, even though, there was no FetLife activity when Juliana and Brendan were out of town, well, maybe the parents were in town. Maybe the mother-in-law was in town or something like that. So maybe that's why she didn't want to go in those accounts, because she had other family members there. But I just feel like it would be easier to sneak around those family members than it is to sneak around your husband. But anyways, I think that's where they were getting at. I don't know if the jury caught that, though. We'll see. You're getting deja vu from the Depp trial. Yeah, a little bit, right? Towards the end of Amber Heard's cross-examination, or no, redirect. Yeah. And then Camille Vasquez was like, object. And then it was just, it was like, sustain. Oh, hi. By the way, it's me, Spring Thunder. Oh, hello. Shunrai is just what Spring Thunder means. LOL. Oh, okay. Good to see you. Hello. Nice. Yeah, there's like some usernames that I recognize because some of the names are like similar to your prior username. And then some of you guys have your profile pictures. But a lot of you guys, I'm like, damn, there's some new usernames in here, but I'm pretty sure you guys were here before, okay? It's just a new change that YouTube has made that everyone has to have a unique username now. Hi, Carolina. How are you doing today? I definitely recognize you. Hello. Huh? Today was an average at 44 objections. Record on day 6 was 109. Wait, what? Do you have like ChatGPT keeping track or something? Oh boy. I'm just saying that was pretty rough. Okay. So I think I have a video that's coming out about this trial, and it's just basically going to focus on some of the fuck ups of the defense so far. And then I do want to make a separate video that recaps this trial so far for those of you guys who haven't watched since day one. But we did react to opening statements. That was streamed 2 days ago. What I'll do is like, because I feel like people will watch the live streams and then sometimes they don't watch the videos posted. I feel like more people watch the videos that are posted on my channel. So I think what I'll do is I'll take the live stream and then we'll probably like cut out like any of the dead air or any of like the nonsense, and then we'll upload that on the YouTube channel. So we'll have the opening statements and then the au pair's testimony. That'll be one video. And then separately, we did react to the body cam footage of Brendan Banfield yesterday. Now, there's another body cam footage that I want to react to, but I should go eat because my stomach was growling. I don't know if you guys heard my stomach growling when I was streaming. I hope not. I hope the noise gate was able to block that out. But I think I'm gonna go make some lunch and then we'll finish editing the video. But if you guys don't want to wait for the videos to come out, we do have the live streams that went out 2 days ago and then yesterday. But other than that, for today's live stream, we did react to the beginning portion of the defendant's testimony. And, let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know. Let me know if you guys found the au pair credible. Let me know if you found Brendan's testimony credible. Curious to know where you guys are at, because I do have this looming feeling that the prosecution kind of rushed through this pretty quickly. And I think it's because she's very confident that the jury is going to believe the au pair's testimony. But if there's someone on the stand, or not on the stand, if there's someone on the jury that is a little bit iffy about the au pair's testimony, if you're looking through that type of lens, I wonder how everything else looks after that. I don't know. Like for me, I think I found her testimony pretty credible, and it seems to line up with some of the evidence that they have. But again, I wish the evidence was a little bit more, I wish there was more experts that could testify about the evidence. But, you know, apparently there's some drama behind the homicide team. So I don't know if that's a huge contribution of it. John says, I do keep track of sidebars, objections out of the jury's presence and witnesses for trial. Okay, nice, nice. All right, all right. Well, John says 44 objections today, y'all. 44, although it felt like way more. As someone that looks nothing like Brendan Banfield, is there something this guy that women... is there something about this guy well, I mean, she's young, impressionable. I mean, this could be a pathway to U.S. citizenship. He's got money. He's got a nice house, nice neighborhood, Washington, D.C. I mean, there's probably a lot right there. Him on its own, you know? Oh, I don't know. Maybe she saw him as like, you know, like a ticket to living in the U.S. permanently. That could be a thing too. Who knows if she truly loved him? But like I said, young, naive, probably a huge component of it. So tomorrow we are going to continue with Brendan's testimony, and I'm trying to think, are we going to be live for that one? I think we will be live for that one because tomorrow court does start a little bit later. They're starting at 9:30, and I think the defendant will probably be testifying all day because he'll probably do the direct examination, they'll do a lunch, and then at some point cross-examination. So I think tomorrow we'll be live for the entire thing, because the other option would be to do it on Saturday. But I think on Saturday, I think I want to watch the body cam footage with you guys. I'm trying to figure out the order of everything. But if you guys want to have, you know, the notifications up to date, join the Discord. If you guys haven't already, have your notifications on. And then for YouTube, if you do have your notifications on, just hit the bell and hit all, you know, so you guys get all the notifications when it goes live and all that stuff. But I will give you guys a heads up on Discord when we go live. We might be a tiny bit behind just to give, well, let me see. What's the talking speed of Brendan Banfield? I feel like we could speed him up a little bit, but then there might be like a lot of sidebars. I don't know, man. Like, I'm just like not very hopeful of this defense. It's just been really shaky, really unorganized, really shaky. But maybe after the judge telling the defense that, yo, you know, your fucking wheels were falling off the bus earlier, get it together, maybe it won't be as rough. Maybe it'll be smooth sailing from here on out. Am I wishing too much? Chew properly, Corgi. I'm trying. It's hard. Markiplier made a video about how he like chewed thoroughly for the first time when he was eating blueberries, and he was able to taste all the nuanced flavors of blueberries. I tried that and I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. But I would try. It's better for your digestion anyways to chew your food thoroughly. All right, y'all. Well, anyways, it was nice having you guys here. Hope y'all have a good one. You know, it's great to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the rest of the defendant's testimony. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. I'm going to go make some mapo tofu. And hopefully it will be delicious. Last time was really good, but the first time I made it was a disaster. Oh boy. All right, guys, go check out the other videos. You guys haven't already. Body cam footage. Oh, we got to cover Corey Richins stuff. Something came up with Corey Richins. Nothing too big, though. It was actually kind of hidden in the court docs. But I will hopefully be able to cover that. I don't know, maybe I could do it today. We'll see. We'll see how much time I have. All right, guys. See ya. Have a good one. Bye. See you later. See you later. And stream.